Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're doing the summation of arithmetic sequences, which you kind of did last time. So I'm kind of using just arithmetic sequence rules that you guys know, and the summation rules which you learned last week, and we're just combining them. Okay, so it shouldn't be too difficult. So let's get started here. I hope you enjoy the dad joke, and here we go. Now, guys, okay, guys, so what I have done is I have created two problems that I'm going to do. They're very similar to the ones on the worksheet. Okay, if you run into a problem with any of them, just hit me up and I will answer your questions. Okay, so I'm going to write out the problems here. The first one I've created a sequence, and the sequence is 3, 7, 11, 15. Now, guys, I told you these are arithmetic sequences, okay? So don't even worry about geometric. We are going to do summation of geometric next, okay? I don't know if that'll be the next assignment. I think I'll probably give you like a quiz on what we're doing here. And then next week we'll do summation of geometric sequences and a quiz on that, okay? So, arithmetic, remember that means that you add or subtract to go between each term. In this case, it looks as though we are adding 4. There we go. So it adds 4 to get to the next one, right? Okay, now remember that setup for an arithmetic sequence. It's the first term, right? Plus your difference times n minus 1. Remember, we're doing n minus 1 so that we can begin. This was probably the most missed question on that test I gave about arithmetic sequences. We do the n minus 1 so we can begin at n equals 1, yeah? Because I know people, it's weird when you start putting n as 0 as your first term. So I like it where 1 is your first term, where you plug it in and that gives you your first term. Okay, so first question I'm going to have here is find the closed formula. And this is the formula, right? We just need to fill everything in and we got our answer. So, an equals the first term, 3, plus the common difference, which is 4, times n minus 1. Okay, there we go. There's the first question. Find the closed formula. Okay, B, find the summation, so the sum as meaning summation, up to, here I put the 10th term, so a sub 10. Yeah, that means 10th term, right? Okay, so to do that, remember I need to know the first and last term. Yeah, so this is just like what we were doing on the last one. I need to know the first and last term so I can add them. And remember, the summation of the second and second to last term would be the same. The summation of the third and third to last term would be the same, right? So the formula for that is here, let's give a formula. I don't think I gave like a formula for that before. So it'd be like A1, in this case it'd be A1 plus A10, right? Because that'll be the summation of the first and last term. And it'll be the number of terms divided by 2. And that'll give us the answer of the summation, right? Okay, so I know the first term, but I don't know the 10th term. So I got to solve for it first. So A10, if I want the 10th term, I just use my formula here. 3 plus 4, 10 minus 1. Okay, that's going to be 3 plus 4 times 9, right? And I don't want to get something stupid wrong here, so 39. Okay, so the 10th term is 39. Okay, so now let's use this this stuff here. Okay, so I'm going to do the first term plus the 10th term. My 10th term is 39 plus 3. Okay, so the answer to this part would be 42. Okay, times the number of terms. Okay, I told you one way to find the number of terms last week, and then on this one, you can just look at this and it'll tell you how many terms there are, yeah? But let's just prove that the same thing you did last week would work, okay? So like what we did last week was to get the number of terms was we did the last term minus the first term divided by the common difference, right? And the common difference in this case was 4. So you do that, and then remember when you do that, okay, so 39 minus 3 would be 36. 36 divided by 4 gives you 9, right? Now I'm just reviewing this because I want you to remember this. Okay, that's not the number of terms. You have to add 1, and then it'll tell you how many terms there are, right? So that's another way of figuring out how many terms there are if I'm not just giving you find the sum of a sub 10, okay? So that will be the number of terms is 10 divided by 2. So we're just going to be doing 42 times 5, and the answer to that would be 210. And that's the summation. Okay, there's the answer to those 2 questions. Okay, let's do one more. It's maybe a little more difficult. If you think this is all really easy, I mean, you can just go over to the worksheet already and give it a try. And if you run into some issues, you can come back here and watch this one. We're starting it at 620. Okay, so now the next one I am giving you. I'm not giving you like starts of a sequence. I am giving you different things in the sequence. So I'm going to say the common difference is going to be 4, and I am going to give you the 5th term, okay? And we're going to say it's 32, okay? The first question I'm going to have is find A1, so the first term, okay? So if I want to find the first term, now what you could do is you could just work your way backwards, right? I mean, this is going to be the easiest way. I mean, not the easiest way, but it is a way, is you could subtract 4, subtract 4, subtract 4 until you're down to A1. Yeah, but like what if this number was like A sub 50? You don't want to do that 49 times to get to A1. So the way to do it for any case would be set up that equation that we have for arithmetic sequences. Yeah, that equation right there. Okay, a sub n. Well, we're going to use the 5th one. So we're going to use 32 equals the first term. Well, that's what I'm looking for, so I'll leave it as a1, plus the common difference is 4, and then we're going to do n minus 1 here. Well, n, we're talking about the 5th term, so 5 minus 1. And, whoops, I meant to put a 4 here. I put a d. I'm dummy sometimes. Okay, and then we just work this out. 32 equals a1 plus 4 times 4, right? So 16. And then we subtract the 16 over, and 32 minus 16 would give us 16. Yeah? And so that's the first term. There we go. Now, if you wanted to do it the other way, I mean, check it out. Let's do it real quick and make sure this comes out right. A sub 4. Okay, you'd subtract 4, that would give us 28. Okay, A3, subtract 4, that would give us 24. A2, subtract 4, that would give us 20. A1, subtract 4, that would give us 16. Look at that, we come out to the same answer, whichever way we do it. But remember, if I had given you like A sub 510, like you're gonna be going for a very long time. Yeah? So you want to use this method because it'll be quicker if this number is too high. Okay, my second question, part B of this, was find the sum up to the fifth term. Find the sum up to a to the 5, or the 5th term. Yeah? Okay, so I mean we're using that same thing we did before. I'll do the work over here because I do not have enough space down there. Okay, so remember it's a1. It's the first term plus the last term, which in this case we're going up to the 5th term, times the number of terms. So number of terms divided by 2, right? Okay, so a1 is 16. We figured that out. 16 plus the last term is 32. Okay, the number of terms. Now remember, Two ways to do it. This is probably the easiest. I'm doing it up to A5, so I have 5 terms. Yeah, divided by 2. And we just worked this out. So 32 plus 16 is what I'm going to do first. 32 plus 16, that comes out to 48 times 5 divided by 2. That equals 120. And there we go. And that's everything. So do that. I will give a little quiz that has to do with this. Okay, now real quick on the quiz, like I'll probably give something like a terms where an arithmetic sequence where I write out. You know what? Let me get a blank slate here. I can do one real quick. Like let's say I give 2, 4, 6, and I go all the way to let's say like 16. Okay, if I ask you to find the summation of this, remember you do 2 plus 16. Whoa, that line kept going. 2 plus 16, so it'll be 18, because it's the sum of the first 2 terms, right? Times the number of terms divided by 2, right? If you have something like this, the number of terms, the easiest way to find it is just to do 16 minus 2 divided by the common difference, which in this case is 2. So that would be 16 minus 2 is 14 divided by 2 is 7. And remember, that's not the number of terms there are. You need to add in 1 because it kind of ignored the first term. So there's 8 terms if you're doing this. So that's how you would do the summation if I give it to you like that, okay? Which is what you were doing last week. So if I tell you like A8 equals 16, that's the easiest way to determine how many terms there are. You just look at what that number is. If I'm not giving that to you, you can either figure that out or you can do this method, okay? See you later. I hope it wasn't too bad. Enjoy your time at home and don't get the COVID.